Welcome to this tutorial on how to update statuses of users when they fill your terms and condition forms within 24 hours automatically. Guys, if you're a product or a website owner, it is important to ensure that your users are reading and agreeing to your terms and conditions. But guys, manually keeping the track of who has filled the form and who hasn't can be a big challenge. So in this video, I'll show you a simple workflow which is going to automatically update the statuses of the users when they fill your terms and condition forms within a given time frame. So we are going to set up this automation without any coding super simply. Let's begin. So guys, here we have created a guided process for this automation to implement. So here, first of all, we are using a form which can be embedded on your website. And here we are just taking the contact details from your users. Okay. So when any user or website visitor is going to fill this form, we are going to capture this data in a spreadsheet in Google Sheets application here. So here we are taking the details as this: the name, email, age, and the submission date on which the form submission have been received, along with the time at which the form submission has been received. And then we have this column I have named as term accepted. Okay, so here I am going to update this cell value of this column, okay, as yes or no. Okay, so initially this cell value is going to be blank. Let me remove this. This is going to be blank initially, okay, after getting the form submission from the contact form. So as I'm going to receive the form submission, I want to send an email to this person who have filled the form with the link of another form in which we have the terms and conditions. So second form is here in which we have the terms and condition of our product. Then we are going to wait for 24 hours or let's say 48 hours, and within this time frame, if the person has completed this terms and condition form, then we are going to update this cell value, okay, and this should be automatically updated. So all this is going to happen automatically as we are going to receive the form submission of this first contact form. The email along with this second form's link will be delivered to the form submitter automatically, and if the person submits the terms and condition forms within the time frame, the cell value will be updated automatically. And guys, to set up this automation, we are using Pabbly Connect, which is an automation and integration tool. And this is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And I'm going to paste the link of this landing page in the description so that you can sign up for free and you will get free automation tasks every month to test and set up your automations. So you can just sign up right now. After that, sign in and reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect application. So this is how the dashboard is going to look like. Here you can click on this create workflow button to set up any automation workflow. Here you can give a suitable name to your workflow. So you can give any name. So I have given the name here as terms and conditions automation. You can give any name as you want. After that, click on create button and your workflow page will load up like this. And on this page, guys, you will find these two modules, the trigger and the action. So these are the basic building blocks of our automation. Trigger starts the workflow and the action perform any action automatically in different applications. Okay, so action is an automated response of the trigger. So I have already created this automation for you, so I'll show you directly. Here is the first. So we are going to use two workflows here. First workflow is for getting the form submissions here in our spreadsheet and sending an email with the link of the second form to the person who have submitted our form. Okay, first workflow is for this process. So this is the workflow for that process. Here in the trigger, I have connected with Jot form application because the Jot form is the application we are using to create the contact form which we are using for our product or website. Okay, so to connect Jot form from the scratch, you can see when you click on the trigger module, it will ask for choosing the trigger application and the trigger event. So you have to choose that application here in which the trigger event is going to occur. That means the thing which is going to start the workflow. So in our use case, getting a form submission via jot form is going to trigger this workflow. So here I have selected jot form in the choose app field. Then we have selected new response as the trigger event, and with the help of this webhook URL we created a connection with jot form application. So guys, you can read the instructions to create this connection, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste a link of a video in the description in which I have clearly and in detail explained how you can create this connection. You can follow that video. Let me just quickly move on because this is a bit of a long automation we have. Okay, so here after getting the connection with jot form, I have manually filled the form to get the test response of the form here in this response section. Okay, so why I have manually filled the form? To get the response here to set up this automation further. So after creating the connection, you can manually fill the form, and you can manually fill a random detail about any user. That can be a test user, and the submission details will be captured here like this. So here you can see we have received from this contact form. I have asked the name, last name, email address, age and the gender. Same things are captured here. You can see this is the first name, the last name, email address, age and gender. Okay, these are the details captured. All right, after getting the form submission here, I have in this action step I have searched for date time formatter feature of Pabbly. You can see when you click here on this action step, it will ask to choose the action application. Okay, so here I have searched for date time formatter feature. You can search for it, date time formatter, like this, and then select it. And here I have used the action event. Let me show you from the workflow directly as current date. Okay, so I have used this step to get the date on which we are receiving the form submission. Okay, and I have selected the format of the date like this. When you click here, it will show you the formats. So I have selected the dates format as YYMMDD, hours, minutes and seconds. So I have selected this format because I want to get the details of the time as well on which we are receiving the form submission, so that we can decide the time frame from the starting point of a time. Okay, so here you can see after selecting the format, it will ask if you want to include time in the response. The time is already included, so I have made it false, and then I clicked on save and send test request button. And in the date time in this response section, we have received this date time label, and here we got the date and the time of the form submission. Okay, now guys, I have in another action step. So to add more action steps, what you have to do, you just have to click on this plus icon and another action step will open up. Here I have connected with Google Sheets application. You can see, because in Google Sheets I want to save the data of the form submission I just received. So I have selected Google Sheets, then I selected the action event as add new row. Alright, then I click on connect button and then create a connection. You probably already have this idea how to create these connections, or you can watch the videos from the description, or you can explore our channel. We have many videos. You can check how to create the connections. Alright, and then here, after getting the connection made, we have selected the spreadsheet from this menu in which we want to save the data. So the name of my spreadsheet is this form submissions data. I have selected it from here. Then I've selected the sheet's name, and here it started showing these fields: the name field, the email field, the age field, and the submission date field. So guys, these are the same things I have here as the headers of the columns. You can see name, email, age, submission date. Okay, so it will be showing up here like this. And to fill the data here, what you have to do, you have to map the data from the previous step. Let me show you how to map the data. Let me erase this thing. So these fields will appear like this, and these will be blank. And here we are going to use the test data that we have received from the form submission. So to map the test data here, you just have to click here on this name field, and the previous steps will appear in the drop down. So from this first step, just map the full name of the person. This is the first name label. Similarly, map the last name label. Okay. Then map the email address. Then map the age. Age is here. And in the submission date field, map the submission date and the time from the second step. Okay, like this. Okay. After that, click on Save and Send Test Request button, and this data will be sent to your spreadsheet like this. Let me show you. Let me show you the example in front of you. I have deleted this field, this row. Okay. Now my spreadsheet is blank, and this is connected here in this spreadsheet, in this workflow. Let me just click on Save and Send Test Request button. All right, this is the response we have received. Let's see in our spreadsheet if we got the data. And here you can see we got the data here. Okay, that's how you can send the data to the spreadsheet. After that, guys, in another action step, I connected with Gmail application to send an email to the person who have filled our form. And in that email, we are going to send the link of the second form that we have. And this is the second form, which is the terms and conditions form. Okay, right. So I have selected send email as the action event, then create the connection. After that, these fields will appear. Okay, first field, the recipient email address. So here you have to fill the email address of the person to whom you want to send the email. That means the person who have filled our first form, and we have received the test data of that person here in the first step. You can see, okay, from jot form we have received the email address of that person. So I'm going to map this email label here in this recipient email address field. Just click here, and from this first step, map the email address. All right, then we have CC, BCC fields. Then we have the sender name field. Here you can put the sender's name. Here you can put the subject. And here you can select the email contents type as plain or HTML. I have selected plain. And here is the email that I have written for the person to whom I'm sending. So after hello, I'm going to put the name of the person to whom I'm sending this form. So you can map the name from the first step. You just have to click in the text and you can just map the name. All right, and here it is written, this is to inform that we have received your application. The next step is to accept our terms and conditions. Fill this form within 48 hours to accept our terms and conditions. And this is the form's link. So this is the link of our terms and condition form. So we have just copied the shareable link of this form, which you can do from JotForm applications dashboard, and I have pasted this same link here in this email like this. Okay, now you can check the connection with Gmail application by clicking on Save and Send Test Request button, and this same email will be delivered to this email address. Let me show you the demo of this also. So let's say this is the email inbox of the recipient. Okay, and here let me click on Save and Send Test Request button, and let's see if we receive a new email in the recipient's inbox. So this is the response we have received, and here you can see we have received a new email, and the sender's name is Pabbly team. The subject is form submission received, and so this is the email. You can see hello demo. This is to inform that we have received your application. Next step is to accept our terms and condition form, and this is the form link. Okay, and when the person is going to click on this link, this form, the terms and condition form, will open up. Now this is the first part of our automation. The next part is when this recipient is going to fill our terms and condition form, our spreadsheet's cell value should be updated. Okay, that this person has accepted the terms and condition, and that too within a time frame. For that, we have created a separate automation. So this workflow, this is the second workflow, and it is going to trigger when our second form is going to be submitted. Okay, that means the terms and condition form. So for that, the trigger was same. We have connected jot form again, and then we have received the test submission by filling this terms and condition form manually. Okay, just for setting up this automation. And we have received the test submission like this. So here we have received these details that I have asked in this form: the signature, the name, last name, the email address, and the phone number. All right. And by signaturing in this form, the person is accepting the terms and conditions. Okay. So here we have received the test submission. So in this test submission, you can see we have, I have filled in the form the same details that I have already had captured in my spreadsheet. Okay. Because the same person is going to fill the form again. Okay. Who have filled our opt-in form is the same person is going to accept the terms conditions. So I have kept the test data same as it is. So I have entered demo customer name here at the first step. Then I have entered the same details in this next form, and we have received the data here also in the second workflow. You can see demo customer and all other things. All right. And after getting the submission, I have added action step, and in this action step, I have used date time formatter feature to get the current date one more time. Then I have used the format of the current date as it is, as I have chosen in this previous workflow. You can see, because we want to keep the date and time as it is, because we are going to compare the date and the times with each other and see if the duration between the form submission and accepting the terms and condition is within 48 hours or not. And if it meets true, then we are going to update the status only. Okay, right. That's why I have kept the format as it is. Then clicked on save and send test request. We got the date and the time. Okay. Then I connected with Google Sheets here again, but I have used a different action event this time. And the action event I have used is lookup spreadsheet rows. So with the help of lookup spreadsheet rows action event, we can search a particular value in the data that we have in our spreadsheet, and we can capture the details of that particular term. Okay, of that particular row in which the term is present. Okay, so I have selected the same spreadsheet, the sheet name, and here it is asking for the lookup column. So here I have entered B. So what actually we are doing, we are searching the email address present here and the same email address we have received here in the terms and condition forms. Okay, so the email address that we have received from the terms and condition form, we are going to search it in this spreadsheet so that we can know that this person is already present here in this spreadsheet, and we can get the details of this person. And particularly we want to fetch this submission date this time, so that we can compare this submission date with the new submission date, so that we can ensure that the form submission has been received in a particular time frame. Okay, so that's why I have applied this lookup spreadsheet formula. Then I have put the lookup column. Lookup column means the column in which you want to search for a particular entry. So I have entered the lookup column name as B. Okay. Then it is asking for the lookup value. So guys, I want to search for the email ID that I have received from the form submission. So I have mapped the email ID here like this. Then I have make it include headers in the response. Yes, I have made it true. And I want to sort the value from the top. So I am selecting top. You can select bottom as you want. Then click on save and send test request button, and you will get the data related to this email address present in the row. Okay, so we have received the older submission date and time as well in this response. Okay, now in another action step, I connected date time formatter again. Then we have used an action event which is called date duration calculator. So with the help of date duration calculator, you can calculate the duration between two time instants or date instants. Okay, so here it will ask from which format you have got the time instants. So I have selected the time format as it is, as we have received here in the previous steps. You can see In the current date step, we have selected this time, this format. Here we have received the data in this format, and then I have selected this same format here so that we can compare it. Okay, and then it has asked us to map the two dates that you want to compare. Okay, so in the date 1, I have selected the current date, okay, on which we have received the form submission of terms and condition form, and in second date I have entered the form submission date of the previous opt-in form, and that data we had here in the spreadsheet. So from the spreadsheet I have mapped the second date. Then I clicked on save and send test request button like this and received this response, and here it will show you the results like this. The year's value is 0, that means the year is same. Month is 0, that means months are same. Days is 0, that means the dates are also same. That means the person have filled the terms and condition form on the same date. Okay, hours is also same, but here we have the difference. The minutes difference is 40 minutes and 47 seconds. That means the person have accepted our terms and condition forms 40 minutes after we have sent the mail. Okay, 40 minutes 47 seconds after. Okay, so this is the difference. So but this result is in the given time frame. We have given 48 hours to fill the form, but the person has just filled it in 40 minutes and 47 seconds. So I'm going to apply this condition here that if we have received the results within the time frame, then I'm going to update this term accepted cell here. Okay, to apply that condition, I added one more action step, and here we have used filter by Pabbly feature. So with the help of filter, we can apply filter using conditions. So here it will ask to select the label, select the filter type, and put a value here. So from this select label option, when you click here, it will show you the previous steps. From here, I'm going to select this label that I have received in the last step. Here I'm going to use this hours label, result hours. Okay, and I'm going to put the filter type as less than. Okay, and here I am going to put the value as 48. What does it mean? We are telling to Pabbly Connect when that result label shows you any value less than 48, that means the person have filled the form of terms and conditions within the time frame, and now we can update the value. So here I have selected the hours, result label, filter type less than, put the value 48 hours. Then I clicked on save and send test request button, and it has given us the message as the condition is true. So when this condition matches true, I want to update this cell value. For that, I have applied another action step, and here we have connected with Google Sheets once again, and has selected the action event now as update cell value. We have an action event here, update cell value. Then I connected with the same spreadsheet, selected the same spreadsheet and the same sheet, and here it has asked the range in which you want to update any cell. So guys, to put the range here, you can see my cell. When I select this cell, in the name box you can see it is showing E2. That means this cell is present in column E, row number 2. Okay, this is the range of the cell. So I have put the range here like this. You can see, sorry, not in this workflow, in this workflow. Here I have put capital E in the range, and for the row index, that means the row number, I have used the data that I have received from the Google Sheets in the lookup spreadsheet step, where we have searched for the person who have filled the form. Okay, so from this step I have mapped the row index, okay, so that it will be updated automatically with every execution of the workflow. So guys, the data that you map here is updated every time the workflow executes. That means every time the workflow triggers. That's why it is necessary to map the details. Okay, then here it has asked what value you want to put here in this cell value. So I want to put yes. That means that the person has accepted the terms and conditions. Yes. So I have put the value manually here. Yes. Then to check the connection with spreadsheet, you can click on save and send test request button. Let me click on it one more time, and see if we receive the data again. Okay, this is the response we have received. Let me show you in the spreadsheet if we got the data updated. And here you can see we got the yes word filled here automatically. That means we have updated the status of this person, that this person has filled the terms and condition forms within the time frame. Finally, the automation is fully completed. So we have used 2 workflows here, and we have done setting up this automation, and you have to set up this automation only once. After that, you do not even have to look for these workflows. It will work automatically whenever the person is going to fill this contact or opt-in form. This is going to trigger the first workflow and add the data of the form submission here in the spreadsheet. And after that, and the email will be sent to the person who have filled the form. And after that, when the person has received the email and filled the terms and condition form, that is going to trigger the second workflow, and the details will be updated here automatically. And guys, you can use these workflows as you can see here. You can use these workflows as well, as I'm going to paste the link of these 2 workflows in the description. You can clone it in your own free Pabbly Connect account and start using these automations instantly. Guys, if you want to connect with our support team, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask and discuss your queries on our forum via this link, and you can check the pricing plans of Pabbly Connect via pabbly.com/connect #pricing. And guys, if you like our videos, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.